Hey guys, my name is Dr. Andrei, and here's Chris Green. I went to dental school in the Chicago area, and this guy's also from Chicago. So that was an amazing connection to begin with. And the name of my practice is Timber Dental Care. We are based in North Denver, so in Colorado, and the vision all came together after I thought of the name, Timber Dental, thus the beautiful woods and mountains in Colorado. If you think of all the greatest athletes in the world, Michael Jordan had a trainer, Wayne Gretzky had a great coach. You need someone behind you to give you advice, to make you a better version of yourself. And that's what I feel like what the Practice Launchpad did for me is saved time for me. It saved growing pains. It saved sleepless nights because I had these guys behind my back. If you think you can, if your vision is to build $1 million practice, which I'm sure it is, or a $2 or $3 million practice, well, guess what? You've never done it. These guys have done it. So why not have the best coaches in the world to get you to that point quicker than if you were to do it alone? When you're alone, it's like being on an island. You know, you don't have all the information, all the wealth of knowledge these guys have. And these guys are so well connected that if there's a question you have that they don't know, which is very rare, they have so many people that have done what you're trying to get out of them. So really, it was such a great experience. My heart is full just sitting here next to Dr. Green. And please take the time to analyze the cost of what it would be to join this coaching group versus where you want to be. You know, if you want a $3 million practice, understand what this fee is compared to that. It's a fraction. It's 0.1% of what your growth is going to be over your career. So I'm not even telling you, you know, you're going to save on equipment bids. You're going to save on IT, on construction. You're going to save all that to make up for the cost it would be to coach with the Practice Launchpad. But don't forget, your practice is going to grow much quicker, and you're going to get to your goal much quicker if you guys have these this group behind you. Yeah. So really, it's true. The main inspiration was seeing how well Dr. Green was doing and how fulfilled he looked, showing up to work every day and building a team and building something from scratch and really having his own fingerprint of the practice from day one. You know, as an acquisition, you don't really build that legacy from the beginning. I feel like you take over someone else's legacy and then make it your own. But when it comes to a startup, a ground up or scratch start, every little decision you make, and you know, one day when you retire, you're going to look back at these moments, and it's a long learning phase. But you know, if you have this guy helping you, it really shortens the learning curve. And so that is the reason I wanted to build a legacy for myself and be fulfilled. And I was willing to put in the work for it.
Yeah, it's as we know, a startup or any practice ownership journey is not for the faint of heart. So, how did you know you were in it for the long haul? You were ready to put the work in. You were ready to take a risk. I mean, it can be feel like a leap of faith when you're signing some of these checks over to different vendors and when you're signing leases and things like that. So how'd you know?
Yeah, it just comes down to confidence in yourself. And really, I learned this from you and David Maloley, is think with the end in mind. And in the end, I wanted to build something beautiful and really touch people's lives, and I figured that this was the best way to do it.
So when we talk about startups, you know, a lot of times you'll hear me mention the different line items and areas you can save money. And the three biggest ones that I see are typically, or I shouldn't even say save, you could just drastically overspend if you're not watching out, if you don't know what to ask, if you don't have something to compare it to.
So my experience with the Practice Launchpad and Dr. Green is I would take them the bids, and we would go line item by line item and see where we can save money. And saving money on equipment, saving money on construction will give you a little more flexibility if you do want to pour more into marketing and build your practice quicker. So saving every dollar you can in the beginning on stuff that's really, at the end of the day, not that important. You know, what's important is getting patients through the door. So with equipment, we looked at the total. For some reason, I wanted to equip all my ops. I wanted to equip 7 ops. To equip 7 ops, it costs about $400,000.
Yeah, actually 400 in that case.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get going. And so one piece of advice Dr. Green told me is look at some old docs retiring. Maybe they just want to leave their space. Check Craigslist. Check the local Denver society for any equipment that's being sold. Took that advice. I fully loaded 5 ops from that and saved $100,000. Everything you would need to start an office. It's literally take this older office with pretty nice equipment, actually, is Pelton and Crane, and put it in my space.
It was only, what, 5 to 7 years old?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
It was actually a relocation project. The doc had outgrown his space. It's beautiful equipment. You're going to see it if you stick with these videos.
Yeah.
And he compromised nothing.
No, compromise nothing. I got 5 printers. I only need 4. If you need a printer, let me know. Tons of computers, pretty much everything, all the doctor stools, like you said, the 12 o'clock chairs. And I'm using all of these ops for hygiene because they are 12 o'clock. And for me, I do prefer the arm that swings around. So in that case, I bought for restorative 2 ops that do swing around. And even those newer ops, we saved quite a bit by using the right brands that are still high quality.
Yeah, and knowing what the going rate is for those, because the reps are going to come in with their highest price and hope that you just sign on the dotted line. But if you know that it's like buying it's like buying a new car. Like you have the sticker price, and then it's like, okay, what can I really get this for? Because the car dealership's still going to get a cut of it. Same with equipment companies. Yeah. They're still going to keep their margin where they're going to keep their margin.
Yeah, and the one thing that you'll think to yourself is, oh, I just got lucky. You create your own luck, and it's not just luck. It's putting in the time. There's so many websites you can go on that you can talk to Dr. Green about to find these deals. And the startup project, it can be up to 2 years. So you literally have 2 years to find used equipment that will fit your space. And I found it about 6 months before I can open. So what did? I put everything into storage. I literally paid people to truck all the equipment over to storage. Storing all that costs about $2,000, but that's really nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah. What did you end up spending total on this? However many apps and all the computers and everything?
So pretty much an entire 5-op office. I spent with sterilization, all the lab stuff, $45,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wish I had that deal. He beat me. With IT, at this point you would have seen my whole recommendations on how to save money there. We could break down the equipment bids together and all that. But very few are willing to put the time and effort into DIY and save a lot of money. So one thing that I mentioned is, hey, while you have extra time, you could go to the practice at night after your associateship and start running cable. So tell me, how did that process go? How much money did that save you? And fill me in on that.
Thank you for that little idea. It took hours of work of being in the ceiling and running all the drops, but it saved me $10,000. So about 20 hours of work will save you 10 grand. Use that 10 grand for mailers. Besides saving the money, you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something before you even open the space. You're up there in the ceiling, getting dust on you sometimes, and it's okay. At the end of that 20 hours, you're like, holy crap, I know my ceiling so well, and I'm gonna be in this space for so long, so I'm proud of myself for doing this. Yeah, I would have never thought of this idea to run my own cables without Green's advice. I wouldn't have considered it, but Dr. Green, you showed me how to do it, and you introduced me to an IT guy as well. You connected me to your friend, and we had a really nice discussion on the phone, and we actually went to the website where you can buy cables for pretty cheap. Compared to the industry norm.
Is that Monoprice?
Monoprice, yeah.
Monoprice.com. Okay.
Exactly. So Monoprice is where you can get pretty much anything IT. And that tidbit alone also saved me money on materials. I paid $1,000 for 3,000 feet of cable. And that 3,000 feet, if someone were to do it for me, it would have been 2 or 3 grand. So there's more cost savings there. One more thing was mounting TVs and mounting computer screens. I was quoted $4,000 to put all those TVs up. I did it myself with the help of friends, pizza and beer. And again, these are memories where you hang out and put TVs up and mount things to a wall that are timeless. The vision that you build for yourself to have flexibility in life and not drill teeth all day, and actually have time to build relationships with your team and your patients. And that's what these guys preach, and they'll show you how to build a practice the right way, especially once you open doors. I mean, let alone building and construction. Once you open doors, it's a whole different ball game, and these guys know their shit. Well, thanks for being a big part of this whole process. You've totally changed my life, and for my future family, whenever I have kids and a wife, I'll always think back to the moments that you've helped me build this beautiful thing.